Hello students, in this video we are going to see articulated foot, general features and attachments. Articulated foot is made up of 27th bone, which includes tarsus, metatarsus and phalanges. There are 8 tarsal bone. These are talus, calcaneum, navicular, 3 cuneiform and 1 cuboid. Metatarsus is 5 in number and it is counted from medial to lateral side, first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Phalanges includes 14 bone, 2 bones for great toe and 3 bones for each of the other toes. So, total number of bone in articulated foot is 27. So, these are the superior view of right and left articulated foot. This is calcaneum, this is talus, this is navicular bone, this is cuneiform, medial, intermediate and lateral, and this is cuboid, this is metatarsus and these are phalanges. This is inferior view of articulated foot. This is medial view of articulated foot. This is lateral view of articulated foot, and this is posterior view of articulated foot. First of all, the tarsus. So, there are 8 tarsal bone. Yellow is calcaneum, purple is talus, red one is navicular, green are cuneiform bones and blue one is cuboid. So, these tarsus they are arranged in 2 rows. This is superior view. So, they are arranged in proximal row and distal row. Proximal row includes talus and calcaneum, and distal row includes, so this is proximal row, and distal row includes cuneiform, medial, intermediate and lateral and cuboid. So, this is distal row, and in between these two navicular bone is present. So, this is navicular bone, and this tarsus is stronger than the carpal bones. Now, first of all, talus. Talus is the second largest tarsal bone. First one is calcaneum, and it is present in between tibia and calcaneum. So, in this photograph, this is medial view, you can see a talus which is present in between tibia and calcaneum. It is now the parts, it is having 3 parts. Medial view of talus, head, neck and body. So, this is head and this is body, and between these two one constriction is there known as neck of talus. So, this is neck of talus. This is medial view of talus, this is lateral view of talus, this is superior view of talus, and this is inferior view or plantar view of talus. So, head. Head is directed forwards, downwards and medially. So in this photograph, this is superior view, you can see the direction forward, downwards and medially. Anterior surface of talus, head of talus, is oval and articulates with navicular bone. You can see in this photograph, this is articular surface which is oval, which articulates with navicular bone. Inferior surface is having three articular facets: posterior facet, anterolateral facet and medial facet. So this is plantar view or inferior view, and here you can see this is posterior facet which is concave, and this is for which articulates with posterior facet of calcaneum. This is anterolateral facet, and this is medial facet. Anterolateral facet articulates with calcaneum. Now the neck of talus, this is inferior view. It is constricted between head and body. So this is neck. The head and body makes an angle at neck. This is known as neck body angle, and it is 130 to 140 degree in case of infant and about 150 degree in case of adult. Between head and body in the inferior aspect, one groove is there known as sulcus talli. So this is sulcus talli. Now what is sinus talsi? So in the lateral view, you can see one space is there between talus and calcaneum. This is sinus talsi. Now the talus, body of talus, it is cuboidal in shape, having 5 surfaces: superior surface or trochlear surface. This is superior surface which articulates with tibia, and it is so this is superior surface. And now the inferior surface, this is inferior surface having large posterior calcaneal facet, as I have discussed. Now the medial surface, this is medial surface, is divided into upper articular part and lower non-articular part. Upper articular part articulates with medial malleolus. Now lateral surface, this lateral surface is having the lateral tubercle, lowermost and lateralmost part of lateral surface, and upper part is the large articular part which articulates with lateral malleolus of fibula. Posteriorly, one on posterior surface, one groove is present obliquely, known as oblique groove. So this is posterior surface and this is oblique groove, and it is having 3 tubercle: medial, lateral and posterior. So this is medial tubercle, this is lateral tubercle, and if you see the talus from superior side, the posterior tubercle is more visible. So this is superior surface, and here the green area is posterior tubercle, and sometimes this posterior tubercle is separated from the main body and develops isolately, and this is known as os trigonum. Now the attachments on talus. There is no muscular attachment on talus, only ligaments are attached. So there are various ligaments. Capsular ligament, which is attached on the neck of talus. This red dotted line shows the capsule. Then interosseous talocalcanean ligament, which is present between talus and calcaneum. In this photograph, this white membranous structure, this is interosseous talocalcanean ligament. Now the anterior talofibular ligament. In this photograph you can see one green structure anteriorly, and this blue rectangle is anterior talofibular ligament. Then posterior talocalcaneal ligament. So this is posterior side. Here you can see the blue rectangle. This shows posterior talocalcaneal ligament. Now the cervical ligament and deltoid ligament we will see in next slide. So first is cervical ligament. This is the lateral view, and in between talus and calcaneum, the innermost part, this blue rectangle is cervical ligament. Deltoid ligament, this is the medial view of foot, articulated foot, and here you can see a triangular ligament. This one, these are deltoid ligament. This deltoid ligament is having multiple parts, that is the posterior tibio-talar ligament, tibiocalcaneal ligament, anterior tibio-talar ligament, and tibio-navicular ligament. So tibio-talar ligament is attached to talus. On the posterior groove, one muscle tendon of one muscle is there. Now this is flexor hallucis longus. So tendon of flexor hallucis longus lodges in the posterior groove of talus. Now the calcaneum. Calcaneum is the largest tarsal bone, and it forms the prominence of the heel. So as shown in this photograph, and the long axis is directed forwards, upwards, and laterally. So this is long axis of calcaneum, directed forwards, upwards, and laterally, and it is roughly cuboidal in shape. It is having 6 surfaces, anterior. So this is medial view, but this is anterior surface which articulates with cuboid bone. Posterior surface, this is posterior surface, and it is divided into 3 parts by 2 ridges, upper ridge and lower ridge, into upper 1/3, middle 1/3, and lower 1/3. Superior or dorsal surface is again divided into 3 areas. This is anterior area, anterior 1/3, this is middle 1/3, and this is posterior 1/3. Posterior 1/3 is non-articular, while middle 1/3 and anterior 1/3 they are mostly articular. Middle one third articulates with talus. Now the plantar surface. So this is plantar surface or inferior view, having 3 tubercle, medial tubercle, this is lateral tubercle, and this one is anterior tubercle. Now lateral surface, this is lateral surface or lateral view, is having one bony prominence known as peroneal trochlea or tubercle. So this is peroneal trochlea or tubercle. Medial surface is having one bony prominence known as sustentaculum talli. So this is a posterior view, and here you can see one elevation medially. This is sustentaculum talli. So these are the different views. This is superior view, this is inferior view, this is medial view, this is lateral view, and this is posterior view of calcaneum. Now the attachments on calcaneum. On posterior surface, as I have discussed, it is divided into 3 parts: upper, middle, lower by 2 lines. So upper part is related with bursa, middle parts gives insertion to tendocalcaneus and plantaris, and lower part is related with fibrofatty tissue. On superior surface, this is superior surface. Here this is the attachment of interosseous talocalcaneal ligament, and this is the attachment of cervical ligament. This is the attachment of stem of bifurcate ligament. This is the insertion of origin of extensor digitorum brevis, and this is the attachment of stem of inferior extensor retinaculum. On plantar surface, medial tubercle gives attachment to origin of adductor hallucis. This is adductor hallucis. Then attachment of flexor retinaculum. These are the medial side of medial tubercle, and anterior side of medial tubercle gives attachment to plantar aponeurosis and origin of flexor digitorum brevis. Lateral tubercle gives origin to abductor digiti minimi, and it also takes origin from the area between medial and lateral tubercle. The area between anterior and medial tubercle gives origin to lateral head of flexor digitorum accessorius, and this is long plantar ligament. Anterior tubercle gives attachment to short plantar ligament. On medial side of this anterior tubercle gives attachment to origin to medial side of medial head of flexor digitorum accessorius. So these are the inferior view showing short plantar ligament and long plantar ligament. This is long plantar ligament and this is short plantar ligament after removing the long plantar ligament. On lateral surface, here you can see the peroneal trochlea. This is peroneal trochlea, and it gives attachment to inferior peroneal retinaculum, and postero-superiorly there is attachment of calcaneofibular ligament. on medial surface. Behind the sustentaculum tali, there is attachment of medial head of flexor digitorum accessorius. Posterior to this, origin of adductor hallucis. Posterior to this, attachment of medial flexor retinaculum, and posterior side, origin of insertion of plantaris and insertion of tendocalcaneus. And just below the sustentaculum tali, one tendon is passing, and this is the tendon of flexor hallucis longus, and just medial to this sustentaculum tali, another tendon, that is the tendon of abductor hallucis. The other attachments of sustentaculum tali, that is the plantar calcaneonavicular ligament, this one also known as suspensory ligament. Another attachment is deltoid ligament. Other ligament is this one is medial talocalcaneal ligament, this green structure. Now the navicular bone, it is both separated. This is superior view and this is navicular bone. It is having 6 surfaces, anterior surface, this one having 3 articular surfaces, posterior surface, this is posterior surface, concave posterior surface which articulates with head of talus, superior surface as shown in the superior view of articulated plantar surface as shown in this photograph. You can see in the medial surface towards medial side, and lateral surface which articulates with cuboid, and on the inferior surface one bony prominence is there known as tuberosity of navicular bone. So, this is tuberosity of navicular bone. Now, the attachments on navicular bone, this is inferior view. On the navicular tuberosity there is inferior on navicular tuberosity there is insertion of tibialis posterior. Another attachment is this spring ligament or plantar calcaneonavicular ligament, and superiorly there is attachment of suspensory ligament, deltoid ligament superiorly. Now, the cuneiform, there are 3 cuneiform, medial, intermediate and lateral. So, this is medial, this is intermediate and this is lateral. Medial one is largest, so red bone is medial, and intermediate is smallest, yellow is intermediate, and green one is lateral cuneiform. It is wedge separated. Deep recess is present on the inferior view of cuneiform. In this photograph you can see this is the inferior view, and here is the cuneiform bone, sorry, deep recess as shown by red line. Now, the attachments on cuneiform, there is attachment of tibialis posterior near the navicular bone on inferior side of medial cuneiform, then the distal side of inferior aspect of cuneiform gives attachment to tibialis anterior insertion. On just lateral to tibialis anterior there is insertion of peroneus longus, and lateral cuneiform gives attachment to flexor hallucis brevis and origin of adductor hallucis. Now, the cuboid bone, it is lateral bone of distal row, the superior inferior view. So, these are the cuboid bone shown by blue oval area having 6 surfaces: proximal surface which articulates with calcaneum, distal surface articulates with lateral to metatarsal, and superior or dorsal surface, plantar or inferior surface, then medial surface and lateral surface. Now, the attachments on cuboid is their inferior view. There is attachment of flexor hallucis brevis, and just anterior to this one groove is there which lodges peroneus tendon of peroneus longus as shown in this photograph. Now, the metatarsus. So, these are the metatarsus. They are 5 in number, counted from medial to lateral side. It is a miniature long bone. Parts, it is having sept, base or proximal end, head or distal end. So, this is base and this is head, and in between these two sept is there. First metatarsus is shortest, thickest and stoutest. Base has kidney shaped facet. Second metatarsal is longest as shown in this photograph, and fifth metatarsus tarsal bone is having tuberosity or stellate process. So, this is stellate process of fifth metatarsus. Now, the attachments on metatarsal bone. On stellate process of fifth metatarsus, there is insertion of peroneus brevis, and on superior surface just anterior to peroneus brevis there is insertion of peroneus tertius, and on inferior view just anterior to insertion of peroneus brevis there is origin of flexor digiti minimi brevis. Now, the phalanges, they are 14 in numbers. So, these are phalanges. 2 bones are there in great toe and 3 phalanges are there in all other toes. As compared to hand, it is much smaller and shaft compressed from side to side. Green one is proximal phalanx and red one is distal phalanx, and yellow one is middle phalanx. Now, the attachments on phalanx, this is superior view and this is inferior view. There is attachment on superior surface of base of proximal phalanx of great toe gives insertion to extensor hallucis brevis, and a superior view of base of distal phalanx of great toe gives insertion to flexor hallucis longus. This is the insertion of abductor digiti minimi on superior view of base of proximal phalanx of lateral most toe, little toe, and these are the attachments of extensor digitorum longus attached on base of middle and distal phalanx of lateral 4 toes, and this blue line shows the attachment of flexor digitorum brevis on the adjacent side of middle phalanx of lateral 4 toes, and this is the attachment or insertion of adductor hallucis and medial part of flexor hallucis brevis. And this is the attachment of flexor hallucis longus on the base of inferior aspect of distal phalanx of great toe, on the lateral aspect of inferior aspect of proximal phalanx of great toe gives insertion to adductor hallucis and lateral part of flexor hallucis brevis, and this is the insertion of adductor digiti minimi brevis and flexor digiti minimi brevis, and these are the insertion of flexor digitorum longus on the base of plantar aspect of lateral 4 distal phalanx of lateral 4 toes. Okay. So, this is all about articulated foot. Keep revising. Thank you.